Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing really good. Today I'm going to be talking about narcissism versus being authentic. We've all had experience when we've been online and we've come to see this very narcissistic culture. This of course is prevalent in situations like when you see certain kind of quote unquote influencers flaunting a certain narrative where perhaps they may receive a lot of praise or a lot of likes, and of course when that happens we release dopamine, so it's a very attractive situation. You guys know that I have been a little bit of an advocate for being real online or keeping your kind of authenticity and integrity as you move through life, and social media is no exception to that. And I'm not going to lie, there are moments where perhaps I may have been experiencing an inflated sense of ego, or even every now and again some kind of narcissistic behaviors. Take for instance being an empath. That kind of sentiment has been somewhat hijacked by narcissists. What I mean by that is when you feel that you're an empath and you kind of reach out to others saying like, I understand you, I can be a beacon of hope in your life. While being an empath in its own sense of self is an authentic way of being, it can be used as a way to gain social approval or social praise. And of course, engaging with narcissists can have a negative impact on you as a receiver or as a victim or whatever kind of character you're playing in that situation. So today we're going to be exploring the differences between being a narcissist, seeing these kinds of influences online. Look, even if you believe in what they're saying, which is absolutely fine. Furthermore, we're looking at their behavior and how they exert themselves. How do they make you feel when you're following them? So if you're interested, keep on watching. So the term narcissist gets thrown around so much these days, and it can be used in a way to attack others or to try and prove a point, which, you know what, I really don't agree with. For example, if you have an idea that you wish to put out there, that you wish to have discussed, and the term narcissist or empaths or any kind of other buzzword gets thrown around as simply an automated response, then you know that generally speaking, those terms are being used in an inauthentic way. So I don't agree with the sentiment of calling everybody a narcissist, whom you may disagree with, of course. And obviously, I'm not a psychologist, so I can't just go around diagnosing everyone or pointing out this person over here and this person over here is a narcissist. It's just not wise to just name call people because you disagree with them or because they provide a certain kind of challenge. But in saying that, narcissists do exist and they are absolutely everywhere online. So much so that people's activity online can actually be linked to the dark triad personality. So we have narcissistic personality disorder. That is a real disorder that can be diagnosed. But I also believe that the general everyday person can express certain narcissistic qualities sometimes, but it doesn't make them inherently a narcissist. It's just perhaps some of that behavior needs to be kept in check every now and again. And as I said, I have displayed some of those narcissistic qualities in the past. So there are many different subtypes of narcissists, and some of these are as follows. We have the covert narcissist, the cerebral narcissist, the somatic narcissist, and the spiritual narcissist. These could probably have different types of names, but for argument's sake, let's just stick with those. Today we're going to be looking at the spiritual and covert narcissist, because these are the types of people who seem to be online a lot. You know, the type that kind of hide behind their keyboard and put up a big front and really get a kick out of those dopamine hits. So very sure signs to be able to spot narcissistic behavior. We're looking for signs like a sense of entitlement, manipulative behavior, need for admiration, a lack of empathy, and arrogance. Really the premise of narcissism is that that narcissist has to have one over you. They have to feel better than you. They have to feel bigger than you. It's this notion of being important, having self-importance, and having others look up to you as this beacon of importance. But where the narcissist has cracks, which they won't show to the outside world, where their vulnerabilities are, is when you start to challenge them on how they're presenting themselves, on their ideas. When you do, they'll use gaslighting tactics in order to make you feel like you need to question yourself or question a series of events. This is in a way like a shield for them. When they know that you're starting to question yourself, they're taking the power away from you questioning them and putting it back onto you. So I made a video a few weeks ago about why your enemy needs to be right, and it was rooted in the kind of, I guess, narcissistic behavior. That is where a person lacks the kind of integrity to listen to other points of views and that they need to be right no matter what. In this case, the person who is not willing to listen or who's not willing to engage in the pursuit of coming to a solution rather than being right is after a sense of moral superiority. At one end, it's about simply social approval, and at the other end, it's about being holier than thou. And this is the common trend that you see within these kinds of behaviors, that they need to be right rather than looking for a solution. They need to feel that they're a gatekeeper of a certain something because it gives them a sense of importance, that they can wear this facade of something and you can't question them. In this case, they feel that they're above criticism. So you could challenge them with certain ideas and they'll say, nope, you can't criticize me because I'm a gatekeeper of this situation. It's about being by default right and not being open to being challenged. A great example of that is, and I will keep referring back to Demi Lovato, who when criticized would divert the attention into a different direction to say, you can't criticize me anymore because I'm at the top of the totem pole when it comes to these social situations. And that's really what this behavior is all about on social media. It's the race to the top of the totem pole or the hierarchy. These kinds of people pride themselves on being the teacher. They pride themselves on knowing everything for them to educate others, and others can't question or challenge the ideas that are being pushed. And this is without understanding that life in itself is our teacher, that it's not about one singular person or idea being the right one, but it's rather about moving through life, being a life student, understanding that there is so much to learn, that you never stop learning and that you never stop growing. But narcissists don't understand this concept, but they understand that you understand this concept, and that is why they use this notion of being a teacher to suck you in and to make you feel inferior. Because when you feel inferior, you give them a sense of power. Now you could say, oh, Lexi, you're up there on YouTube preaching to everyone your ideas. Doesn't that put you in the same bracket as being an educator or a teacher? And to answer that, no, that is the last thing that I want to be. When I do my videos, I like to put ideas out there to be discussed. I like to be challenged. I like to hear so many different points of view. I understand that this world is full of so many different individuals with good ideas, and those ideas should be able to be challenged, expressed, and tested. We live in such a culture where we're constantly seeking the next kind of dopamine high. There is no sense of longevity when we're actively going about our lives. Obviously, I'm generalizing, but in terms of our culture, there is no sense of longevity. Perhaps this is part of the reason why we're seeing mental health issues increase. And this is in conjunction with the increase of social media use. So what is it about social media and expressing ourselves on there that makes it depressing? And how do we be authentic when we're going about expressing ourselves online and in real life too? When my family runs the Pahalakichi, the sweat lodge, when we enter the lodge, we place our head to the ground and we say, aho to all of my relations. What this essentially means is that we leave our egos at the door and we open ourselves up to connect with every living being, because the Native Americans recognize that we're all connected, we're all related. And this means that we're also related to the people whom we may not like, to the people whom we disagree with, to our enemies, even things that cause us illness or grievance like bacteria or virus. They're all part of the world and they're all connected. Going in with this kind of understanding of, you know what, you're so small and insignificant. You're a speck in the vastness of the universe. If you're trying to push something so hard that you're trying to prove the sense of superiority over others, Does it really make you inherently and fundamentally right? In Taoist belief, it's about stripping back the ego and understanding the truth in the sense that I understand that I'll never understand, i.e., there is so much more to learn. And the sense of being able to be still and letting go of trying to control everything is where you will find your inner peace. Where I'm going with this is that being authentic is about letting go of control. Being authentic is about walking within integrity. Being authentic is about accepting your vulnerabilities. And it's not about saying, look, I'm weak in these areas, so I'm just going to give up. Accepting your vulnerabilities is accepting what is and then doing what you can to change it. Authenticity is about understanding there's always more to learn and that other people may share some kinds of certain insights that you could learn from or that can challenge the way that you think. If you have people in your life that are willing to do shadow work, that are willing to look at their vulnerabilities and to accept those vulnerabilities, then you know that you're around authentic people. In terms of being online, ask yourself the question, does this person make me feel good or do they make me feel bad? Do they make me feel less than? Or do they empower me to be better? Do they empower me to step within my power? Social media isn't inherently bad, but it's all about the way that we use it. So let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Again, you're very welcome to disagree with my sentiments here. But for now, you guys, I hope you have a good day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys all again for the next one. Bye.